All right, let's dive in. Today, we're plugging into the electric vehicle revolution. And we're not just talking about a small shift here. We're talking about a future that's being valued in the trillions. To really set the stage, check out this quote from the investment firm ARK Invest. They're basically saying that historians are going to look back on right now and say, everything changed. What they're getting at is this idea that it's not just one new technology popping up. It's a massive convergence.
A future of convergence. Sounds pretty epic, right? So what does that actually mean? What happens when all these world-changing technologies start smashing into each other?
Well, ARK's research points to these 5 huge innovation platforms. You've got AI, robotics, energy storage, the whole list. Now, for the car industry, the key collision happens between energy storage, that's your batteries, robotics on the factory floor, and especially artificial intelligence. The way these things are mixing together, well, it's creating a wave of change that some people think could be even bigger than the internet. And the scale here is just mind-blowing. Over 200 times $1 trillion. To give you some perspective, that's more than double the entire global GDP right now. It's a huge, kind of abstract number. So the real question is, how does this massive, futuristic idea actually affect you and me? Okay, let's bring this whole concept down from the stratosphere and get practical. We can see this convergence in action in one place we're all pretty familiar with, the car in your driveway, or the electric car to be specific.
And wow, you can really see the shift in momentum right here. I mean, look at gas-powered cars. Growth is basically flat. Now look at EVs, just soaring. And this isn't just some random trend. Nope, this is a direct result of that convergence we were just talking about. Smarter batteries and smarter cars.
So what's really driving all this growth? It pretty much comes down to one thing: cost. Battery prices are absolutely plummeting, which means we're in this race to what's called price parity. The goal is simple: make an EV just as cheap or even cheaper than a gas car. And we're not just talking about the total cost over years, we're talking about the sticker price right off the lot. And get a load of this forecast: 40 million. That's the number of EVs that could be sold annually by 2026. The main thing to get here is that this isn't some distant sci-fi future. This is a tsunami of electric cars about to hit the roads, and soon. Which brings us to a massive, and I mean massive problem that a lot of people aren't talking about. Right, the infrastructure challenge. You have millions and millions of new EVs, and they all need to plug in somewhere. Building out the network to support them is, well, it's a colossal undertaking. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a huge business opportunity. We're talking over $150 billion by 2032, but it is packed with hurdles. You've got these insane upfront costs to build the stations, not to mention the incredible strain all this new electricity demand is going to put on our existing power grids. This map of Canada's charging network is a perfect illustration of the problem. See all those dots on the left? Those are the slower AC chargers, kind of like what you might have at home for an overnight charge. But now look at the right. That's the network of DC fast chargers, the ones you absolutely need for road trips, the real gas station replacements. You can see the build-out is happening, but it's patchy. It's really uneven.
And trying to actually make money from a charging station, it's like this crazy balancing act. You have to worry about how often the chargers are even being used, the massive cost to build them, price of electricity. It's a really tough business. And you know who feels it when that balance gets thrown off? Yeah, it's the driver.
So let's zoom in even further. Forget the business case for a second and think about the personal experience. What happens when this incredible, futuristic technology meets the frustrating reality of a Tuesday afternoon road trip? For pretty much any EV driver, it boils down to 2 huge fears. 2 potential deal breakers. You're pulling up to a charging station and you're thinking 2 things. 1, is this thing even gonna work? And 2, how long am I gonna be stuck here? This comment from a Reddit user just says it all, doesn't it? Model S takes an hour easy. It's hateful. That one word, hateful, it perfectly captures that feeling of frustration when you're just stuck there, waiting. And then there's this one. Someone posted about a company finally doing proactive maintenance on their chargers, and the user just replies, "What a radical concept." That sarcasm right there tells you everything you need to know about how common the problem of broken chargers really is. The frustration is definitely real, but thankfully, so is the race to fix it. All right, so how do we fix this? How does the industry solve this massive plug problem? Well, the good news is they're tackling it head-on with some really smart tech and new strategies.
Okay, so the first huge shift is moving from a reactive model to a proactive one. The old way was you wait for a driver to call and complain that a charger's broken, then you send a technician and the thing is down for days. The new way? Companies are using AI to actually predict when a charger might fail, so they can do maintenance before it breaks. The goal is super simple. Make sure the charger works when you pull up.
And at the same time, the speed problem is being attacked from every possible angle. First, you've got better tech in the cars themselves, letting them charge way faster. Then you've got some really out there ideas like NIO's battery swapping stations in China, where you can get a fresh battery in about 3 minutes. And looking to the future, we're talking new battery designs and even solid-state batteries that promise to get you charged up in under 10 minutes. That's getting pretty close to a quick stop at a gas station.
So here's the bottom line. That big trillion-dollar future we talked about at the beginning, it's coming. The technology is making EVs pretty much inevitable. But their ultimate success is going to hinge on solving these very real, very human problems on the ground. The big question is, will there be enough working plugs to power it all? The race is definitely on.
EV Initiative, enabling the next generation.